Barack Obama's legacy is falling apart piece by piece. And it's not Republicans saying it. It's the evidence. It's the hypocrisy. And it's the very people who once believed in him. I want y'all to watch this.
Well, here's an interesting little twist that I bet no one is thinking about regarding the new criminal referrals that just came across DOJ regarding the Obama era officials. Obama, Clapper, Brennan, Susan Rice, etc. 2 months ago, President Donald Trump appointed Judge Jeanine Pirro as U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Now, Judge Jeanine has an impeccable record in New York State, not only as a prosecutor, but as a judge. And she and Donald Trump go way back. They're friends, and he trusts her. Now, the U.S. Attorney General in Washington, D.C. is a very powerful position. It has a dual role. So not only does it oversee local crimes in Washington, D.C., but it also oversees federal crimes that might have happened in Washington, D.C., i.e. politicians, intelligence officials, etc. So this puts Judge Jeanine Pirro in the direct line of indictments should they come down. I find that extremely interesting because she's a shark.
Yes, she is. I mean, think about that. Judge Jeanine Pirro now positioned in D.C. to drop the hammer on Obama-era referrals. And that's not a rumor. That ain't somebody on Fox News just saying that, pun intended. That's accountability circling back. And if you thought that was wild, wait until you hear what Obama's old programs actually let China do inside our Defense Department.
Last month, the Department of Defense was made aware of an Obama-Biden-era legacy program called Digital Escorts.
What?
For nearly a decade, Microsoft has used Chinese coders, remotely supervised by U.S. contractors, to support sensitive DoD cloud systems. The program was designed to comply with contracting rules, but it exposed the department to unacceptable risk. I mean, if you're thinking America first and common sense, this doesn't pass either of those tests. So I initiated an immediate review of this vulnerability, and I want to report our initial findings. So the use of Chinese nationals to service Department of Defense cloud environments, it's over. We've issued a formal letter of concern to Microsoft documenting this breach of trust, and we're requiring a third-party audit of Microsoft's digital escort program, including the code and the submissions by Chinese nationals. This audit will be free of charge for U.S. taxpayers. I'm also tasking the Department of Defense experts with a separate investigation of the digital escort program and the Chinese Microsoft employees that were involved in it. These investigations will help us determine the impact of this digital escort workaround. Did they put anything in the code that we didn't know about? We're going to find out. Additionally, all Department of Defense software vendors will identify and terminate any Chinese involvement in DoD systems. It blows my mind that I'm even saying these things. It's such common sense that we ever allowed it to happen. That's why we're attacking it so hard. We expect vendors doing business with the Department of Defense to put U.S. national security ahead of profit maximization. I'm committed, like the president is, to ensuring that our national security networks are secure. Again, it's America first, and it's common sense. This never should have happened in the first place, but once we found out about it, we've attacked it aggressively from the beginning, and we're going to follow all the way through the tape to make sure that this is addressed. So DoD is working in conjunction as well with our partners in the rest of the federal government to ensure that all U.S. networks are protected. God bless.
So let's call it what it is. Betrayal. Obama turned his back on us, y'all. Betrayal of national security. Obama and Biden allowed Chinese nationals to code for our military cloud systems, y'all. Wow. That's far from America first, as he put it. That's selling us out. Yeah, Democrats lecture you about protecting democracy. And it's the constitutional republic. Let's see what CNN admits about Obama's so-called legacy.
That's exactly what Democrats are doing. They're doing it with illegal immigrants. They're doing it with crime. And they're doing it with the government. You said it's the way government functions. A supermajority of the American people say government is dysfunctional. They don't trust government. Go back to the Ike LBJ days, and trust in government was in the 70s. Today, it's in the 30s. The low water mark, and I think it's delicious that Barack Obama is weighing in, the low water mark during the era was 10% when Barack Obama was president. Only 10% of Americans trusted government. That's what propelled Donald Trump into the White House. He's being responsive to the problems that Americans are facing.
You can't trust government.
And he's enforcing the laws that are on the books.
We can talk
Putting
about
troops
those
in
numbers.
Washington is the law.
You can't trust government when they call.
That's exactly what Democrats are doing. They're
just chaos up there, right? When Obama left office, only 10% of Americans trusted the government. 10%. That collapse in trust is what opened the door for Trump in the first place. But for some Americans, Obama's presidency didn't just create distrust. It actually flipped their entire worldview. Watch this.
Hate me for saying this, but Obama's presidency is one of the main reasons I became conservative. A black person won the highest office in the land. And the only way to get there was to have support of white people. That's the only way he could have gotten there. In my mind, game over. There isn't a single thing a black American can't do. And I thought that was going to be the message. We are all on equal ground. If that black dude can become the president, any black dude can do anything. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. On to the next goal. But no, that's when they came up with systemic racism. Just when you thought you didn't have to be a victim anymore, there's another term to learn. That's when I realized these people were all in cahoots and they were all just trying to gain control. You can control somebody when they are emotional. We black people are constantly in a state of high emotion. You think you're a victim, you think everybody's out to get you, but that's not the case. I mean, duh, anybody that's telling you that you can't do something or that you have a disadvantage, why would you want them around you? Why would you believe that? Like, I'm getting pissed just thinking about it. It was just completely ridiculous. Obama was the worst. He could have done a lot better for us, but he failed, in my opinion.
Come on now.
All right, love you. Bye.
That's real. No script, no filter. She believed Obama's win meant that the victimhood era was over. And I admit, in that time, in my liberal days and mindset, I thought it was great, perception-wise. But Democrats double down on systematic racism to keep us emotionally chained. That's what they do. And while they claim Republicans are the danger, they're putting the biggest hypocritical power grab in states they control. I want you to look at California versus Ohio real quick.
Hey everybody, it's Barack, and I am here with my good friend, Attorney General Eric Holder, because we're facing an existential threat to our democracy.
There's that phrase, an existential threat to our democracy. Remember what I've said before. Replace the word democracy with Democrats' political power. There is no threat to our democracy. There's just a threat to Democrats' federal power. So they fearmonger to get their base emotionally riled up and hope that gets their base to take action, because emotions are powerful things. But he wasn't done. Let's let him continue.
And we need your help.
Right now, in states across the country, like Texas and Florida, these extreme conservative politicians are announcing and acting on plans to slice and dice House districts with the goal of preserving their own power while diluting the voting power of communities of color.
Gotta bring in the racism piece, another emotional play. These extreme Republicans on the right are diluting the minority vote. These people don't care about people of color. They have spammed that racism card to death. But he wasn't done. Let's let him continue.
Of color.
They're doing the same thing in Ohio, trying to give one-party control over almost 90% of congressional seats.
You know what state already has almost 90% of congressional seats? California. And California is trying to gerrymander their state further to where they have about 93% of the congressional seats. So think about how manipulative this is. Democrats already have almost 90% of U.S. congressional seats in California. And then Barack Obama's going to try to come out here and tell you Ohio's doing something where they're going to have almost 90% of congressional seats, as if it's like a problem. It's unfair. It's not a fair representation. When that's exactly what California is currently already doing. And on top of that, they're trying to increase it to 93% of Democratic representation, when almost 40% of California voted for Trump. These people are not principled. They're not worried about democracy. They're worried about winning. They are hypocrites. Also, just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I go into more detail on many of these topics. This is a great place to arm yourself with updated information. The link is in my profile. Just go to my profile, click the link. You'll see this screen here. Just drop your email and hit subscribe and you'll be good to go. That's all I got for now. We'll see you in the next one.
Exactly. Obama cries about Ohio giving Republicans too many seats, while Democrats already have nearly 90% in California, and they're scheming to push it even higher. That's not democracy. You know what that is? That's monopoly. And Americans are done with the double standards. This is why more and more people are leaving the Democrat Party. From national security betrayals to collapse in trust to the lies about race to straight up hypocrisy. The mask is off. Subscribe now because here, same thing always gets the truth. The media won't touch. Y'all be safe. Please go check out somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Pray for me, boy. I'm about to get ready to go to Chicago and bury my niece. And I want to say thank you to each and every last one of you guys for making the funeral, everything go smooth with your donations via GoFundMe. And yeah, God bless, man. Again, be safe. Go check on somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.